So hope I am audible to you guys. And today, like what I'm gonna do it as yesterday, I have told you guys that today we will be solving the live questions regarding Python, and like randomly, I have chosen a topic called data frame. Okay, it's not basically that I have went into some list tuple dictionary or any kind of things, right? Randomly, I have just chosen one topic and just we will code live. Okay, so I hope you guys would be understanding that. And yes, if you face any difficulties, means like if you are not understanding the things, so basically it's for you guys, it's for you, because what happens uh, in the evening when I teach some modules regarding Python, so what it happens, I don't get enough time for that, means like explaining all the things, explaining the basically the codes, the most important thing while we are practicing data science or anything, whether we are learning any coding language as well, right? The most important thing is doing the practical implementation. Why practical? uh, Rajkumar, am I audible now? Is my sorry for my mic issues, means like I will be try changing it, but hope now you can be little more clear. Can you just mention on the chat box that if I am clear or not, or you can just give a thumbs up. Okay, so we will start with the things, and first, as say you guys to open the spider. Okay, why spider? Because again it's a beginner friendly. So before sharing my screen, I will just open a spider within my system. And to open a spider, I hope you guys know how to install Anaconda, and where we can basically locate the spider, basically where the spider ID is. Okay, so meanwhile my Anaconda is opening. Okay, uh, I will try downloading some data sets as well. Okay, so and we will use Kaggle for that, for downloading the data sets. And yes, then we will go ahead, go further with the things. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Meanwhile, if I'm sharing my screen and it's being opened as well. Yep. So I hope my screen is visible to you guys. So now let's start with the things. I have opened my spider as well, and first I want you guys to open the spider. Okay, and after that, spider is a beginner friendly. What you can do, you can just go into the file section, and there you can open a new file here. Okay, and as soon as you will click onto it, a new file will be opened, and here we can apply the codes. We can code as per our requirements. Okay, so what I will do, I will just try renaming it because I have to ultimately save this file, otherwise everything will be lost. And I hope you guys have performed the same thing whenever you are using any Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so you know basically how to save the things, how to save the certain things, right? So I will simply write here just day 23, and I will start off with the things. Okay. Okay. So first, while creating a data frame and while iterating with any type of data frame in Python, okay. So what do you mean by data frame? Okay. I want you guys to just comment it on the comment section. Basically, what do you mean by data frame and what do you understand by data frame? What basically data frame is? The very first word, the very first definition which comes inside your head. Okay, I want that you guys to just comment it on the comment section, so that I will be clear regarding your understanding. What do you understand by data frame, so that I can explain it further, right? So basically, data frame is, for example, we are having a data, and certainly that data will be within some CSV file, within some Excel sheets or some Google Docs, right? You will not get the data randomly from anywhere. Certainly there is some system pertaining to that. There is some what you can say, there is some algorithm, what you can say, there is some certain type of things. Means like, for example, if in your household, just let's take a example of your house, like in your house as well, for storing certain things, right? You need certain containers for that, right? For example, you are storing sugar, so you know, you need a container which holds a sugar. You can't keep your sugar like this. You just bought the sugar from the market and you spread it like this in your room. No, you will not do such things, right? What you will do, you will take a box or any container, and you will pour down the sugar into it. And whether it's related to sugar or any oil or any kind of household stuffs, right? Obviously you will store it into a container. So basically data frame is whenever we are storing data into some files, and that files is irrespective of your choice. It can be into CSV file, it can be into Excel file, it can be into Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, your audios, your videos, anything. Right now also when I am talking, I am generating a data. Okay, how I am generating that data? Because I am doing a live stream on YouTube, and that particular thing is being recorded. So basically that data is in a visual format, visual and audio format, basically that data is. So ultimately it doesn't mean that data only relies upon the textual data what we see in text. No, it's not like that. Okay, if you are, for example, just take a live example which you guys can relate with, right? Most of you have been using 5G, and most of you are using 4G as well, right? So you are using certain data packs, right? There is certain limitation. Okay, in one day 1 GB of your data will be exhausted, right? There is one thing. Now why I am saying these things is, whenever you are doing any video call or audio call through web network, whether it can be a Zoom call, whether it can be a WhatsApp video call, whether it can be a Instagram FaceTime, whether it can be anything, you are doing a video call. So that time whenever you stop that call, after that you get a message regarding your data consumption. कि, okay, this many data have been consumed by you for this particular time of the call. So where is that data going? Just feel like a energy. It's like energy is neither created nor destroyed, but it can be transformed from one form to another, right? So similarly it applies for data. It's like once the data is created, the form is not necessary. Okay, it's not necessary that you will store the data in some visual format or some audio format or some textual format or anything, right? Most importantly is you are generating a data, and how to handle those data, how to manipulate those data, right? So the very first library we are going through right now is pandas. It helps in data manipulation. Surely it helps in. And it is the library which is used in data manipulation techniques. So if you guys haven't installed pandas in your system, so what you can do, you just simply go in command prompt, and here you can write pip install pandas and just press enter here. Okay, as you can see my system have already installed pandas. For that reason it's not being installed again. But for you guys who haven't installed the pandas, for you guys you need to install it. Okay, so this is the basic code for that, basic syntax for that, how to install pandas. Once pandas have been installed, then what you will do, you will import that certain library into your IDE. Okay, so I will write import pandas. Again, import pandas, and I am using a aliasing name as PD. And this name can be anything. It totally depends on you, whether you want to use your name, whether you want to use your friend's name, whether you want to use ABC or anything other than reserve words and keywords. The conditions which we have mentioned while declaring a variable, I hope you guys have remembered that, right? So aliasing name is same as variable. You can take any name which is convenient for you. But here, why I am taking pandas as PD? Because it's a abbreviated form of pandas, or P and D. For that reason, I am taking it. It's convenient for me. For you, you can take anything which is convenient for you. Okay. Once you have installed pandas here as PD, so now if you don't have a data frame, right? You don't have a data set. So what you will do? Now let's try creating a data set of our own. So how we will do that? So just be focused here. Okay. So I will assign a variable name D, and within D, what I will do, I will write PD from pandas library. I am importing a function called DataFrame. Data frame. And here, what I will do, I will write here columns. Columns is equal to, for example, any column name. I want that. Okay. Now just let's take an example that I want a name here. Okay. I want a jersey name here. Jersey. I want a score here, and the another thing, name, jersey, score, and I will write here team. Okay. I've rewritten these things. Now what I will do, I will just create a list. Okay. And in that particular list, I will assign some values to it. Okay. And what will be the list regarding that? I will define a variable name, and within name, a list is there, and within that list, I'm writing Dhoni, I'm writing Kohli, I'm writing Sachin, I'm writing Yuvraj, and here I will take another name as Rohit, and the different let's take Bumrah as well. He bowls well. Okay. Now let's take some of the other values as such. I'm a fan of Hayden as well. It's a Australian cricketer. So just take his name as well. Now let's take some ABD, ABD Villiers. So basically in name, what you guys can see is I've taken certain names into it, right? I've taken certain names into it. Now I will define another variable as jersey, and within I will write here 7, I will write here 18, I will write here 10, then 12, then 45, then 11, then 34, then 17. Now I will write here scores, and within score I will write 183, 183, 200, 150, 264, 50, 160, and 170 respectively, right? Now I will write here team. Okay, team, and here I will write CSK. I will write here RCB. I will write here MI. I will write here Kings 11 Punjab. I will write here MI. I will write here MI. I will write here CSK. I will write here RCB. Okay. Now the most important thing is what you guys have to keep it in mind, that basically these were the columns name. These were the columns name, and these are the value of that columns. Basically these are the rows. Now how we can assign the certain values in that particular column, right? So the simple syntax for writing such is, only thing which you have to do is just write here the data frame name, and inside that write the column name. For example, in name column I want this name. This name, you can see it's getting highlighted. This name I want in name column. Similarly it goes for other column as well. Okay, I will write here jersey, and within here I will write jersey, and then it comes score, and here as well I will write here score. Now again I will write here team, and I will write here team. Okay, now let's try printing this particular data frame. Print D. Okay, now try executing it. I hope you guys are practicing writing the code line by line as well. I want you to make sure that you should write it line by line, because it will help you guys. Otherwise you will just get bored, you will feel sleepy. And it's for you guys that I have started the everyday life sessions, and to make you guys practice side by side. If you are facing any problem, you can just comment it on the comment section. Okay, this is the basic things I am facing it, this is the basic doubt. Okay. Okay, now let's move ahead. Now you have seen it, that my data frame got printed like this within name called column. I have Dhoni, Kohli, Yuvraj, Sachin, Hayden. Everything is there. And here comes the most effective part of using Spider, is why I tell you guys to use Spider. Because in the variable explorer you can see it, that our variable name with type and with size and with value. Okay, everything is described here, means like everything is written here. You guys can see that, right? Now if I will click on this D data frame, you can see here on the 0th index, Dhoni is there, jersey number 7. Its highest score is 183, and the team which he plays for is CSK. Similarly, for Kohli, Sachin, Yuvraj, Rohit, Bumrah, Hayden, everyone, this data frame is created. And what's the shape of this data frame? Shape means what's the dimension of this data frame? For example, if you are not using Spider, you are using any other ID, as if you are using VS Code, or you are using some Jupyter notebook, or you are using PyCharm, or anything you are using. There you can't get a variable explorer type of thing, right? There you can't get it. But here you can clearly see it, that it's being converted into a variable explorer. Everything is crystal clear. I know my voice is not crystal clear because I have to work into my mic of buying some new. So for that I need you guys support for that. Obviously I'm not telling you guys to just buy me once. No, no. It's not like that. I need your support. Basically it boosts my confidence when I see people interacting within the comments, sharing my content, giving me feedbacks. A big shout out to Rajkumar Manna as well. Like by him, I am able to get that my pronunciation is not clear. Okay, so a big shout out to him because I like people who give feedbacks, because I am open to feedbacks and I believe in improving myself, improving from the mistakes. Okay, for me, I know that I am 100% correct, but the audience watching me, the person watching me, they have the right to judge. कि, okay, these are the certain redundancy, these are the certain limitations which have been going through. So for that reason, I want you guys to commentate, or you can just convey your message to me so that I can improve. And when I will improve, obviously my pronunciation will be improved, and yes, you will be able to understand much better way. Okay, so I am open to feedbacks. So now let's move on to the data frame which we have been discussing. And here I was talking about the shape, the dimension. So here clearly you can see it. The dimension here is 8 comma 4. What is 8 comma 4? 8 is basically rows and 4 is columns. So my data frame includes of 8 rows and 4 columns. If I will open it, you can see it. There are 8 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 rows and 4 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you aren't using Spider, so how to check the shape of that? how to check the shape of this data frame. So here is the line of code for checking the shape is simply you have to write d dot shape. If I will write this in my console, you can see the shape got printed and it's 8 comma 4. So by this we can be able to locate any shape of any data frame. I hope you guys are understanding it. If you have any doubts, you can comment it on the comment section and I will surely solve those. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Move ahead in what? If you wanna check the information about your data frame, so what you will do that? I will simply write d dot info here and I will use a function. And you can see here that my data frame contains the column name as name jersey score team, and within this column there are 8 non-null values, means I don't have any null values in my data frame, my data set. No null values are there. And d type here you can see is what is basically this d type. This d type is data type of my particular column. So you can see here object is there, right? Why it is object? Because it is a categorical data. Again, what is a categorical data? Data in which we can't perform much of the numerical calculation. For example, if I will ask you guys that within the column team, whether you guys will be able to find out the average of it, the answer will be no. Why? Because in the mathematical terms, in mathematics, what average means? Average means sum of all the elements divided by number of elements. So here we can't perform such stat. Exactly, we can't perform that particular stats. So that's the reason this is a categorical data. Why? Because we can't perform much of our statistics. We can't get much information by this data. For that reason, this column is under categorical data, and categorical data is always under object form, right? Here you can see the column jersey. Jersey is an integer. Why? You can see the integer values, and here we can perform the various statistical operations, right? And again in Python, what is the syntax, what is the line of code of defining all those statistical information is simply you have to write the data frame name and you have to write the describe function. So if I will write d dot describe, So you can see here, I got count. What is the count of my jersey and score column? What is the mean? The synonym for mean is average. Here STD means what is the standard deviation. Minimum means what is the minimum value of our data. We will understand the mathematics behind it as well. We will understand that. But right now, you guys have to focus by what syntax, by what line of code we can be able to describe all these things, all the statistical informations. Again, this 25% is a quartile, first quartile, 50% is the another quartile, Q2, which we called, and 50% is called as a median as well. Okay, and 75% is the third quartile, and max means the maximum value. Here you can see the maximum value within jersey is 45, and within score is obviously 264. So what insights you can draw from it? You can draw that these numerical calculation is not applicable on name and team columns. Why? Because these are categorical data again. For that reason, we haven't counted that. Obviously, you can't find the mean for it. You can't find the standard deviation for it. Right? Now, if you want to access certain column in your data frame, so what you will do? There are two ways to do such. One way is just write your data frame name D and just write the column name here. Name. And now let's print it. Here you can see the name column got printed. Dhoni, Kohli, Sachin, Yuvraj, Rohit, Bumrah, Hayden, ABD. Everything under name column got printed. And what's the other way of printing the same thing is you have to write the D here dot name. This column name I am writing. Instead of square bracket and quotes, I have put a single dot here and it will give me the same output. The same output will be displayed. See here, Tony Kohli, everything got displayed. So I hope you guys have understood how we can extract the certain information of certain columns, right? Now what we will do? We will now move ahead. Move ahead with what? We will move ahead with importing our second library, which is called NumPy. Import NumPy as np. Okay, and again basically what this NumPy does, it helps us in numerical calculations. Okay, and numerical calculations means it can be anything, any numerical calculation which you have to do it inside your data frame. With your data frame, you can use NumPy for that. For manipulating our data, we use pandas. For numerical calculation, we use NumPy. I hope you guys are understanding it. And here I have used a aliasing name as NP. You can use any name of your choice. Okay? You can use any name of your choice, whether it's your name, whether it's your friend's name, any name. Why I have used NP? Because it's the abbreviated form of N and P, which is called NumPy. Okay. Now, why I have imported this? The very first question. Here, when I will execute this line of code, you can see it that everything is written here: the count, the mean, the standard deviation, the minimum value of this data frame, the interquartile range, the upper quartile range, the quartile, maximum value, everything is written here. But if we want to execute these things manually, okay, then we can use a numpy function here. Okay, so I will explain it how we can use a numpy. So till here, sorry, my bad. Till here, I have taught you guys that how to create a data frame and what's the shape of it, what's the info, how we can meaning of describe, what describe does, what info does, what shape does. Okay, how we can retrieve the elements by column name. There are two process by which we can achieve this. Now one thing which I would like to add in this is, if we have to check, is there any null values present inside our data set or not. So obviously this info function does, it shows us that whether we have any null values or not. But if we want to check it differently, means like separately, if we want to check it, then how we can achieve it, how we can do it. So I will just write a data frame name d dot is na, and you can see here it returns a boolean value. Why? Because everything is filled here. So for that reason, it's giving us the false, 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 and all those things, right? If there would have been any null values inside our data frame, it would surely had given such. But right now there is no. So I hope you have understood that if you want to check the null values inside our data frame, what is the syntax for that? What is the line of code for that? I hope you have understood. If you haven't, just write it on the comment section. Your doubts, I will solve it. Now, if I want to get the count of our null values, so what I will do, I will write da dot is na dot sum function. Here you can get a count. Previously in the line number 18 you were only getting a boolean values. Boolean values means you were not getting a count. We were only getting false, 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 false. Just imagine if this data have been of 1000 rows, 10,000 rows. So it might not be would have been possible for you to just check each and everything like this, whether it's true or false. Obviously, you will not check that. You will certainly need a quantity value, a count for such, right? So using d dot is an a dot sum function, we can get a count of that. कि okay, in my name column, zero null values are present. In my jersey column, zero is present. So basically, these zeros are my null values. So in my data frame, no such null values is present. Okay. Now what we will do? We will just try importing a data from a Excel or from a CSV file into this, and then we will perform these certain operations, right? So the very first thing which I will write here is df and pd dot read csv. There is some issues with my keyboard. For that reason I am just pulling out the key, so it might help me getting printed that underscore. Right now I am unable to do such. Okay, so just pardon me with those. Yeah, now it's a quite little bit it's happening. Yeah. What I have done, I have write here pd.csv, and then what I will do, I will import my path of my data set. Okay, so for example, I have some downloaded data set called as cars. Okay, I'll just go here, I will just right click, I will copy as path. Okay, and here I will just simply paste it, and I will use here R. So you might have a question, what's the purpose of this R? Basically the purpose of this R is to read this string, because Python, what it does, it thinks slash as a new line. It thinks colon slash as a new string. It will not read properly. So for our pandas to read this file, we use R here. If you don't want to use R, then what you have to do, you have to just use double slash. Okay, when you will use double slash, that will also go. Okay, now I have successfully executed this line of code. My cards data have been in my data frame df. Here what we will do, we will try searching is there any null values or not. We'll just move with these things, right? So I will write df dot is na. Okay, and let me execute it. See, everything is false was false. I think none values have been here. So for a correct count, I will write df dot is na dot sum. Okay, So when I will execute this line of code, you can see that my column name doesn't have any null values. Okay. Now what if I have to just check my column headers? Okay, basically what all they are there in my data set, I have to check the headers for that. So what I will do, I will just write a syntax here, tf dot head. And when I will write this, I will get the column names and its values. You can see here in wt I've got 0, hp 49, mpg 53, volume it's 89, sp is this. So basically this is a card data set, and wt is 49. Let's me try writing it 2 itself, and it will display only 2 rows and 2 columns. See, whatever thing we write inside a head function, whatever number will be there, that many count of data will be displayed in your screen. Understood? So here in wt you have seen 49 is there, hp means horsepower, it's 53, mpg volume, sp, these all certain things are there, and there are no such null values into it. Now we will check the statistical value of such. Now let's try go with that. Okay, and if I will write df dot describe, I will get all the statistical values here. The count is here, mean is here, standard deviation. I know it's too clumsy for you right now because everything is just mixed match. Okay, what I will do is just try moving this. Now you can see it more clearly. Okay, this is the count of my HP column. This is the count of my MPG, volume, WT. This is the mean. This is the standard deviation. This is the minimum value. This is the upper quartile range. This is the quartile range. Sorry, this is the lower quartile. This is quartile, and this is upper quartile. And what are lower quartile, upper quartile, quartile, mean, median? We will discuss that when we will be discussing about the stats behind this. What's the statistics behind this? One thing which you have to keep it in mind is data science, machine learning is all about maths. Whoever just have told you that it's not about maths, you have to be proficient in maths, because everything behind ML algorithm is mathematics as well. Here also you can see we are performing the statistical calculation here. But what's the basic behind it? It's the mean, standard deviation. Obviously, you don't have to solve maths here, you don't have to do it. But you have to know what mean is, you have to know what is standard deviation, you have to know what are quartile ranges. Okay, so these all things you should know. If you would know, then only it will be easier for you to understand. So this is the basics mathematics. Advanced will be coming in machine learning, deep learning, calculus, integration, differentiation, functions, global maximum, maxima. In NumPy we will be learning about matrix, determinants, probability, permutation combination. We'll be learning that. So these are all the basics. Advance is there to come. So for that reason, you have to be mentally prepared. कि, okay, I have to learn maths into it. It's not about all Python and mugging up those machine learning algorithms, linear regression, logistic regression, k-means clustering, learning such libraries, scikit-learn, TensorFlow, pandas, NumPy. No, it's not like that. Maths is there. You have to understand the maths. And obviously, it is interesting to play with maths. I feel it, and gradually you will feel it same. Okay. So now I am stopping here, and tomorrow at the same time we will just resume from here. We will go with the data frames. Okay. In my evening Zoom classes, you guys are also welcome to join it. My Zoom meeting link is on my channel description, or you can see on my channel head itself. You have to just click on it. You are one click away to join my Zoom meet. You can join there. There I am discussing about Python. Here I will be discussing about some data frames and live machine learning implementations and neural network implementations. So this live videos is for that. Here I will be interacting live, and here I will be practically implementing those. In my evening session, it will be just theory based. Why theory based? Because again, two things is important, both theory and practical implementation. If you don't know the theory about it, you will not understand. For example, if you don't know what mean is, what standard deviation is, then obviously you won't be able to understand why it is 117 here, why it is 57 here, what's the basic behind it. You will not be able to understand. It doesn't matter how many times you will write df.describe or np.mean. Okay, it doesn't matter how many times you will write this code. See here, I got the mean here. So it doesn't matter how many times you write the code, how many times practically you will implement those. You have to learn the basics, the theory part behind it, what these certain terms meant is. Okay, so see you guys tomorrow then. And tomorrow at the same time we'll be joining, and at the evening, in the evening session today, I will be going with the nested loops in Python, and today I will be completing those, so that tomorrow what I can do, I can start with the next module. And in my YouTube live session tomorrow I will be going with this, and I hope you guys will join on time. Timing will be same. It will be post 1 p.m. and most probably 1:30, 1:15 around. So it will be then. So till then, see you guys. Just keep practicing it. Every time I just say, keep practicing, keep practicing at least 500 to 1000 lines of code, because I want you guys to sprint it, sprint in your skills, sprint in your careers. For that reason, I am taking sessions 2 times a day, so that you guys can sprint. So take care, keep learning. Goodbye. Jai Hind.